welcome back to Book Break. My name's Emma and... What? What do you mean not Emma? I am wearing hipster dungarees and a headscarf. How can I be any more Emma? Fine. Everybody's a critic. Honestly, some people just can't let you live your life. Are you happy now? Hi guys, it's Lianne. I usually live over at Literary Diversions here on the internet, but I am here on Book Break today to bring you a very special episode all about books set in sunny Scotland. Okay, I might have over-exaggerated the sunny just slightly. Let's just go outside. Sure, we won't get rained on. The setting for many a grisly murder in the past, but did you know that it is also the home of the Marcia Blaine School for Girls and the stomping ground of the sophisticated, suspicious and ever so slightly sinister Miss Jean Brodie? In the world of Muriel Sparks's girls' school, hatlessness is an offence, fascism is all the rage, and the quest for immortality reigns supreme. Have I intrigued you? Answer in complete sentences, please. There's a dear. When it comes to Scottish classics, an oft overlooked gem is John Buchan's The 39 Steps. When Richard Hannay, a Scottish expat, returns to the UK after a long stay in Rhodesia, the last thing that he expects to have to do is to reawaken and resurrect that oft discussed, suspicious Scottish hospitality. One night a neighbour bangs on Richard's door and spins for him a good old tale of spies and plots that goes all the way to the heart of Europe. The neighbour thinks Richard a very canny man, but does Richard believe his new neighbour, or does he think that he's a big old waggy? That's a liar to you lot. And can a wee Scottish lad save the world? Guess you're gonna have to read the book and find out. In the grounds of the magnificent Hopetoun House, Scotland's oldest and finest stately home. The keen-eyed amongst you may recognise these grounds as the place where a very famous duel was fought in a recent adaptation of Diana Gabaldon's pretty famous novel, Outlander. Outlander is the tale of a woman torn from the post-war 40s and thrown backwards in times into clan wars of the Scots. What do you think you would choose? Whether in the 40s or in the 17th century, you can guarantee that Hopetoun House's windows have seen it all. Behind me, in the near distance from Hopetoun House, stands the stately figure of the Forth Road Bridge and the gateway to the north of Scotland. Opened in 1964, it was the largest suspension bridge of its time outside of the US, and it has seen the feet of very many weary travellers heading north in search of fame and fortune away from the vast cities of Edinburgh and Glasgow. More than half of Anne Cleeves' characters from her Jimmy Perez Shetland series have travelled across this very bridge in search of peace and quiet on the northern Scottish Isles. Unfortunately, what they find tends to be dead bodies, and rather a lot of them, for somewhere so far away from civilization. Luckily, what they'll also find there is the calm and supportive figure of Detective Jimmy Perez, a little world weary, a little worn, but there to solve all of your murderous needs. But island life doesn't always end in stabby things, I promise. In fact, if you listen to Lillian Beckworth in The Hills is Lonely, you'll discover that mostly island life consists of fist fights between locals in the pub, which are promptly forgotten the next morning over a hair of the dog and another wee dram. Mourners who stand by gravesides in their one funeral suit without removing their bonnet in case their head gets cold, and post offices that don't open until the milking of the coos. But we mustn't be complacent in the wild woolies of the Scottish Highlands, For the lochs and glens remember the times when witches roamed, selkies waited in the deep for unsuspecting fishermen, and the geel dhu hid just around trees to tempt out all those children that you don't want. But that's just what Macbeth does, is he listens to the predictions of the three soothsaying witches and then creeps home along heath and heather to murder his king and steal the throne. But blood and birth will out, and Macbeth's time is running short. When shall we three meet again? I can do Wednesday. But as I leave you here to find your way out of this shady glen, I have to warn you, don't go too far south, or you might find yourself in the debatable land, that little border between England and Scotland where bloody battles raged and neither side managed to plant a flag. But if you do find yourself there, take Graham Robb with you and listen carefully as he takes you from the time of Henry VIII by cart, horse and bicycle all the way through to the present, through ghost towns and abandoned graveyards to the last chapter of Scotland's bloody history. Mind how you go now. We got wet. Whose plan was filming outside?
Yours again.
Oh yeah.